Shalom, shalom. Shalom means peace. Shalom means shlemut, means a sense of wholeness, that we're trying to bring the parts together. We're given a life of many different parts and pieces. It's all fragmented. It's like a puzzle of a billion pieces on the floor. And then there's this amazing mural in the background. You see the whole picture, and it's awesome, it's amazing. But you look down at the floor and it's all broken, a billion pieces, 6 billion pieces. There's 6 billion people on the planet. And each one of us is a million pieces also. We're all broken. What are we supposed to do? Look up at the mural. Get a glimpse of the unity of the entire picture. And then look down at the puzzle and you'll start seeing connections. And you'll start putting the pieces together. You'll turn over the ones that are backwards and you'll start seeing connections. The people you meet, it's not by chance. The people whose family you're born into, it's not by chance. You have a soul history, but you also have a family history, and they coincide right now. You were born into this family, and for a reason. Everything is for a reason. That's the way God works. We're not told about it. We live in a world of fragmentation, fine. But the secret is to start asking to see the unity behind the fragmented picture. This segment of our talk is now still a continuation of what's called Pesukey de Zimra. Pesukey means verses. Zimra means song. But we also said that Zimra means to cut. And therefore the basic idea is to cut through and to prune. Because we have the verse in the Torah, it says, Karmecha lo tizmor. Don't prune your orchard during the 7th year, right? So tizmor in mazmerot, in the verse in Isaiah, mazmerot are pruning shears. So we have that the word means singing, it also means pruning. So the connection is that singing allows us to cut away and to plow through that which was stopping us from seeing the truth. It's clear. Okay, so these psalms that David does now, that we bring between Baruch She'amar and between Yishtabach, is after Mizmor Todah, after the Psalm of Thankfulness, we have 18 verses that are coming as a mixture of verses from Psalms and Mishlei, Proverbs. Quite amazing. There's even one in there that the rabbis made up. They actually had to make up a verse. They took Hashem Melech from one verse, they took Hashem Malach from another verse, and they took Hashem Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed from another verse. And they put them all together into Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed. No, that verse does not appear anywhere in the Tanakh. It's made up. The rabbis make things up. Isn't that terrible what they do to us, right? It's really good. And the gematria of Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch is 620. Le'olam Va'ed, 620. Anybody know what 620 is? 620. It's the gematria of the word keter. What do you put on the top of the head of a king? A crown, a keter. So we're saying, Hashem Melech, God, you're king. Hashem Malach, God, you've always been king. You're eternally king. Hashem Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed, Hashem, you will reign forever and for all eternity. And we give you the crown. We provide you. Our little prayers, our actions, our desires, our yearning to recognize you, to get close to you, is the crown that you wear. You're like the father who is so proud of his child that you put on a little play keter that your child made, and you're the happiest father in the world. Take that in for a second. So, also, Chochma Bina Badat is Gematria Keter. That's another story. But Chochma Bina Badat, which are the 3 Sfirot that come right under Keter, the Gematria, the total Gematria, Chochma, Bina, V'dat, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, is Keter. Meaning to say, in Keter, everything is one, everything is unified. At the highest levels, everything is one. Then the system comes down and it what's called bifurcates. It separates and allows for the possibility of separate existence. to the point that down in this world, it's again, as I said, fragmented. And our job is to return, to restore, by knowing that the background, that the context within which this is taking place is still Keter. The oneness of Keter is still there. The oneness of the absolute revelation of infiniteness is there, was there, and will always be there. That's the greater context within which we're operating here. That's what you never were told. That's what I wasn't told. But I started to hear it through my teachers. I started to hear it through the Torah itself. The context within which our broken lives take place is a context of oneness. I can't say it, I can't emphasize it enough. That's how it works. And so therefore, our putting together the pieces is blessed by the oneness. The oneness says to us, oh, I'm so glad you're trying to see my oneness. I will show you my oneness in the little pieces also. It's a holographic universe. Every little piece, when you look at it the right way, is all of a sudden a revelation of God's oneness. Pesukey Zimra is the Psalms of King David. Finally, we get, after those 18 verses, we start with the most beautiful psalm. It's King David's PhD thesis. It's called Tehillah David. It's based on the Aleph Beit. There's only one letter missing, which is the Nun. In my book on the Psalms, my translation of the Psalms into English, I go through the entire Psalm, I explain it, I translate it in two different levels. One is the simple level, and even that's not simple, and I translate it according to the deeper meaning. I invite you to look, to ask me, to read my translation of that Psalm and the commentary, and what can be done by understanding the PhD thesis of King David, the most profound teachings put in a system of 21 verses. Then the sages added one at the end and two at the beginning. So you get 22 plus 2 is 24 verses. But in the middle is 21 verses from Psalm 145. The basic essence of Psalm 145, Tehillah David, is the difference between miracle and nature. That Hashem interacts with us in history in two different ways. First of all, He creates the world of nature. And in a sense, it's much easier to recognize the existence of the Creator from the world of nature. The stars, the sun, the moon, the planets, the ecosystem of the earth, the atmosphere around the earth. We're spinning around at 1,000 miles an hour. We're moving in an orbit around the sun. We don't even feel it because the atmosphere protects us. And also the fact that the sky is not blue like we think it is. It's only the reflection or the refraction of the sun off the atmosphere. There's a lot of things here that when you pay attention, somebody must have made this place. We're in a perfect place distance-wise from the sun. We're perfect for life as it is. There's no life on the other planets in our solar system. The more you know about what science is revealing about the incredible wonders of our creation, the more you know that you cannot take for granted that you exist. King David actually does this in the Psalms. What he does, though, is very interesting, and I'll end with this for the moment in this section. He says, you know what, Israel, you're really into miracles. You love miracles. Israel, we love miracles. Hashem, lift us up above the world. We want miracles. We want you to part the veil, part the drapes, and show us that you're there the whole time. Oh, what do we want? And I said in another time, and I many times mentioned it, it's called the number 8. The number 8, the infinity. That which is the level above the world of 7. Hashem, open up the gates. Show us that you're there. We lift it up. A nes is a miracle in Hebrew. It's a banner. It's something you lift up. It lifts you up. Now, but then there's the world of nature itself. King David is saying, I know you love miracles. I know you want to be lifted up. But I want you to see the miracle in your life, which is the concept of 7. I want you to see it that you can't just live on miracles. Hashem only created miracles in order to lift you up for a moment. Like a lightning flash in the sky. Like a lightning flash in a dark night sky when the storm is stirring and you don't know where to go. The lightning flashes and the entire sky lights up and you see where you are. And then it gets dark again right away. Because what you're supposed to do is to internalize that moment of light right now. Because you have to be in the world with that light. and understand that that's where God is also. That's where we're supposed to be. There's more to say. I'll have to come back. I ask you to accompany me on this journey, on this incredible journey that we're on, guided by the most masterful teachers, the prophets of Israel, the sages of Israel, all the way from thousands of years ago until today. They were all connected. And that teaching is alive right now, and it can make an incredible difference in your life and my life. Shalom, shalom.